Hello and welcome back. In this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you on how to create a section view by using the select object option. By now, you have learned how you are supposed to do. Obviously, the first step is you have to make the layer onto which you want to create a section view current. And the next step is that you must also allocate this section plane in its correct orientation. With all that done, having set all the layers and having set the settings in the section settings window, then the next step that you have to do is we want to make things very easy, and that one we can achieve it very easily. So I'll select objects that I want to be viewed in the section. I'll select all of them, and what I will do, I'll just group them so that when I go to the section create section window, it will be very easy for me to select the objects after I've grouped them. So let's just get started right away. So what I will do, I will start by selecting this plinth. I'll select the wall, and I'll right click and I will go to select similar, because the wall at the first floor and the wall in the ground floor, all of them are in the same layer. So I have done that so that I make the selection very fast and quick. Then there is a window over here in the living room that I also have to include it in the selection. The other thing is I have the door, so I'll select the door, and the other thing is the roof and the beading going around the roof. And the other thing is the ring beam. We have the ring beam in the first floor, and there's a ring beam in the ground floor. So I will select them as simultaneously. And once you okay, we have also these other windows to include in the selection. Also this one, because this is where the cutting plane is passing through, so I have to select. Okay, once I'm satisfied with my selection, now the next step that I will do, I'll just enter the G command to group those elements. I'll enter G and I'll just press enter to group all those elements. Now these elements have been grouped, and the elements that I have just selected are the ones which are supposed to be viewed through the section. You only select objects which will be projected orthographically towards the direction of the view. So once I have done that step, then now the next step is now to create the section view. Now I'll select the section object, and what I will do now, I will go to the generate section block radio button. I will click on that drop down button, and I will click on generate section block, and I will ensure that just as the previously that I highlighted in the previous video on how to create the section by including all the objects, that's what you have to ensure, but you can fine tune these settings on your own to suit your needs. In this case, the source geometry, I don't want it to include all objects, because it's a bit tricky, because you find that the settings that we did made here in the section setting, under background lines, we did indicate that they should be shown, And actually this is very important, because if you turn this one off, then some of the other elements along the sections that are not cut won't be displayed. So that's the reasons. So in order for us to make these things very easy, we shall just use the select objects to include. And in that case, what we shall do now, I'll just click on select objects button, and I want to now select the group that I did created at the beginning of this video tutorial. Now I'll just click here to select. Now at the command history over here, you see that selected objects are 19 found, and it is within one group. So I'll just press enter to accept that. Now I'm automatically taken to the generate section stock elevation window. Now in this case, you can further fine tune your settings the way you want the selected section to be created. But I want to go into that. What I will do, I won't want even under the extension that I won't want to replace an existing block. So what I will do here is I want just to create a new block. So I will insert it as a new block. That's what it means. So what I will do, I'll click on the create button. Now the section object has been created, including all objects that we have just highlighted, because that's what in the true orthographic view, if you had to stand there and view all through the cutaway geometry, then you could see those elements. So I'll click here to specify the insertion point, and the X scale factor is just 1. I'll press enter to accept all these prompts. Now by doing that, we have just been able to create a section plane that will be very easy for us to edit, as opposed to the previous one where it could have been very difficult for us to do so, because some lines in the background are not along the viewing plane. So you find that some objects which are barred by the interior walls were still visible in the later tutorial. So I will suggest that you adopt this procedure, because it makes things a bit easier for purposes of editing. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video.